Hey, welcome to Vortex Garage. We're going to do a really quick video today. We've had a few requests to get a little more information on the front boom and bucket assembly on our long tractor, so we figured we'd grab the camera and show you a little bit. Well, this is our long 460 DT tractor that we've had featured in a few other videos, and this is the front bucket assembly. This is actually, now it came attached when we bought the tractor, so I didn't actually attach it, so we're going to have to take a look to see how it actually goes on. But this is a long model 1528, it looks like, is the bucket assembly. And essentially, it attaches to the tractor and gives the front arms and the front bucket. And if we kind of look in the back, it looks like, and I'll try to get some decent shots here, it looks like it uses almost like a kind of plate and bolt assembly to sort of mount to the rear axle there. So it's a little tough to get the camera in there, but we'll try to show. And then along the bottom, and this is one reason, this is a four-wheel drive tractor, but it doesn't have the front drive shaft attached. And unfortunately, the folks I bought it from had gotten it from somewhere else and didn't have the front drive shaft, so we're going to try to remedy that later on. But I'm fairly certain the reason the front drive shaft's not attached is that if you were to look at the yoke assembly and then the bottom bracket of this boom, and then up where the output shaft would go, there's not really a way the angle of the drive shaft would actually hit this. I think this boom is designed more for the two-wheel drive tractors and causes an interference on the four-wheel drive tractors. But you can kind of see a little bit here how that goes, and I'm just trying to hold the camera around and get some good views. I'll try to get some pictures as well for anyone that might need them. Okay, and then on the front of the tractor, the boom assembly is just sort of bolted together. It's got like a front cross member. It looks like this is pretty easily removed. I've been able to service the battery, just barely being able to slip it in and out. But it looks like this front cross member piece here, and I'll try to go slow on the camera, just has a couple bolts that attach it to this piece here. So you have this arm along the side, couple bolts, and then you have your front cross member. And you have kind of down, same with the bottom piece. Looks like it also bolts on and attaches. Now on the front, this bottom piece looks like it attaches. Let me come around the back of the tire. I'm not really going to edit this video too much, just try to see if I can figure out how to get shots of this. But it looks like that front piece, it looks like it attaches somehow to the front of the whole assembly, the frame assembly and motor assembly there. So let's try to go around the other side and see what we can see. So again, from a mounting perspective, it looks like you've got the mounts on the rear axle. Then you do have a cross member here that cuts across. Alright, so moving on to the other side, just trying to show how this attaches to the frame, see if we can get a better view. So again, we've got the cross member on the bottom. Same in the back here, it attaches to the rear axle with the same bolts. Let's see if I can get the camera in there so you can see. It's a little tight. Okay, and then again along front, it's a little hard to get the camera here. See if I can get it back and around. So this is up under the front bumper assembly. So you can kind of get a little view of how the front cross member attaches to the frame there. And from a perspective of how it works, it essentially has this main block right here. And this block is your main hydraulic control. So you've got your levers that adjust the hydraulic valves and send hydraulic pressure to the various rams. So you have this ram here, which will do the lifting. And then you've got the rams here that adjust the angle of the front bucket assembly, and all the hoses that attach. So let me just get some good views of how the hoses attach in case that's helpful to anybody. And then they run up along the side, and since I'm replacing the hoses, you can see I haven't quite gotten around to reattaching them, but they have some brackets here that just bolt on, and the hoses sit in these brackets. You have down here, you have kind of a main piece that separates them, and it sends these hoses up underneath. They go on that lower cross member, and have a similar bracket that they feed onto. On this, you can see I've kind of labeled everything. Since I've had all the hoses replaced and I took them off and took them down to the shop, I went ahead and drew a map of how everything goes and labeled it. And then as they went along in the shop, they were nice enough to label all the hoses for me, so it was very easy to remember where all the hoses went based on their length. Now the interesting thing about this is the reservoir is actually, here's the cap. So you would twist this off, if I can get it on camera. Okay, so right in there you would actually fill the hydraulic fluid there. And the hydraulic fluid actually uses one of the, let me get this screwed back on. So the hydraulic fluid actually sits in this piece right here within the actual frame of the arm itself. So the reservoir is actually in here, and you can see that because you have your main feed that comes out the bottom. And then this feeds up into the top as you get the system pressurized and feeds your release your return here. And where is it on the back? So, all right, well you have your main line here, and I'll walk around to the back of the tractor real quick. Because the way this works is in the back, you've got your hydraulic pump that runs off the PTO. So this is that main line that goes up to the front. As you can see, it goes up to the left of our main hydraulic control assembly. And then you do have a low pressure line. This is your return. And that comes through your hydraulic filter, which it seems like wherever I hold the camera, something's in the way, so my apologies. Okay, there you go. And that sort of feeds from underneath the main reservoir and gives you your return as a low pressure return. So this is your high pressure output from the pump, which feeds directly into your block there, and then whatever is left that the system doesn't need in your block comes out the right side and goes into the bottom of your main reservoir. And then let's see if we can come up underneath. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. There's the output for that low pressure. So you can see the hydraulic fluid will go even into this lower piece as a reservoir. So I don't remember exactly how much it holds. So I don't have a book for the boom, so I couldn't even look up the specs, but I'm just trying to remember how much I filled it with. And I want to say it was a couple gallons at least. So, but that's essentially how this works. And let me see if I can get a few more under shots here, just to see if that's helpful for anyone in terms of how it bolts on. But really it's just in the back there, just a couple of bolts. It's a little hard to get light under here. Okay, and then you got your cross members in the middle and the front. And it doesn't look like this cross member bolts to anything, so really your attachment points for this boom assembly are on your back axle and here in the front. And then the only other thing you have is this kind of round bar that gives you a little bit of strength on the top here. And that's pretty much it. So at some point in time we'll fire this up. We'll make sure we got fluid as soon as I get these lines finished routing, and we'll show you how the boom operates. But for the time being, we had a request just to see how this boom attaches, and well, that's pretty much it.